How's it going, guys? So it's Monday morning. We finished planting last week on Friday. Silo builders are setting up right now to pour the first ring on the third silo. We'll have to check that out then. We're just out in the fields looking, seeing how the soybeans are coming up in this field. This is one of the first soybean fields we planted. See, they're breaking through now. We had a really nice 7/10 of an inch of rain over the weekend. Nice and slow, steady rain, so the ground is nice and soft. I already sprayed all the pre-emerge herbicide on the soybeans before we planted, but I did not spray the corn, so I want to get to that. Might be a little bit soft in the fields to start today, right away. We're in the cornfield that we planted first. This would have been last week on Tuesday, so 6 days ago. My plan was to spray the pre-emerge before we had weeds coming up after burn down. As you can see, we're a little late. We got some different weeds coming up. We're gonna have to add something to take out these weeds with the pre-emerge herbicide. So yeah, it's a little soft, but it's not that bad out here, Dad.
No.
So
No, I think
I'm gonna get ready to start spraying that corn. Still have the corn planter on the 7220. Should be done with it for the year, but I'm not gonna clean it up until we make sure we don't need to replant anything. We got some mud building up in here because we had raised that right in front of that first silo to fill it the other week, and yeah, we should have had that cleared out before the rain, but get it cleared out now. I got the sprayer filled up and just got started spraying. Just spraying a residual herbicide to stop weeds from germinating. Moved over to the home place now, spraying these strips that were alfalfa fields last year. Tank is almost empty. Hey guys, so I'm finishing up the last field now of the corn. It's actually the next day. This is my 4th sprayer load. Had a little bit of weeds starting to grow in this already, so added in a little bit of a herbicide called Diflex to take care of the mare's tail. I never used that before. Got that job wrapped up. Next order of business is to work on some video editing. I am 4 videos behind on editing. That's how I labeled the 4 SD cards there, so I really need to just sit down and start working on the computer. My dad got that massive pile of seed bags cleaned up. Let's see how this silo's coming along. You can see where this third silo ended up, out past the building. This lane's not going to be getting used for anything other than the feeding robot later once this is all done. So we didn't really care to lose some of the space there. I think we're even gonna have a rule you can't drive the skid loader or anything through here so we don't have any collisions. It's gonna come out of the shop, you won't really be able to see it coming. And then down through the dry cow and heifer barns back here. There's still quite a bit of space there. The footer came over farther, so it seemed like there wasn't a lot of space, but we'll be able to fill in the driveway back against the silo there. This silo is a little different than the other two as far as where we're taking the chute down. We want the chute to come down and mirror the one on that silo, which is right there. I guess they poured 2 rings worth of the chute now back here, I think. Yeah. Tried to lay this out that it would be even with the other one there. Looks pretty good. So there's gonna be a conveyor running up through there to the feeder and one right there straight in. So 2 pretty short conveyors to get to the feed mixer. And the third silo, we got this temporary conveyor set up there, but we'll have a longer conveyor running through that way. It's kind of crazy. I remember standing here a couple months ago, just a flat ground, and trying to picture what this area would look like with the silos. We're still not feeding out of the new Triticale silo. We want to get our other silos empty first, so it'll probably be another couple weeks. It's amazing they can form the chute straight in with the walls there. I don't know how those forms all work, but they're able to just take that all apart and move it up to the next one. Just checking on our robot scraper. Just put a new set of wheels on this thing, so I wanted to see if it's working. The tires were getting worn on both of the scrapers and they were having some trouble. Dad and I were so busy the last couple weeks, they were just shut off. And we realized how much we miss them. We really like having them things running. Just keeps the barn so much cleaner. Tried these off-brand wheels this time from Next Tire. Seems like they're the right size. They're working so far. We tried a different tire one time that had a bigger diameter and it geared it up too much, and then the scraper wasn't working right, but looks like it's working great. A couple days have passed since I sprayed this field. Just wanted to check, make sure the weeds are dying, and also see if the corn's growing by now. And looks like we got some corn plants. It's so much better than last year because last year we had heavy rains and then it just stopped raining for 6 weeks after planting, and the soil got pretty hard. Plants had a hard time emerging because the surface was so hard. This year it's just a lot softer because we've had good rains here lately. This field had a good bit of mare's tail that was starting to grow, especially in this area, but it looks like that Diflex is taking care of it. Put some residual herbicide in to prevent these types of weeds from starting, but once they're going, you got to add something else to take care of them. I never sprayed Diflex before. It's in the same family as 2,4-D, but it's safer to spray on corn because if we would have sprayed 2,4-D, I think we could have potentially hurt these corn plants. They were just about to emerge the other day when I was spraying. Planting season went pretty well for us this year. It was definitely dry enough. The ground got a little bit hard on us at some fields. No tilling into those Triticale fields was definitely the most challenging just because of that root mass. And I was doing some reading about other corn planters. Different people say that the best planter for planting into harder ground is the Case planters. They have a little bit of different design where the opener discs are offset. There's one that kind of leads the way. The angle on the discs is not as steep, so it just falls into the ground a bit better. I'd be interested to hear your guys' opinions. If some of you have experience with the Case planters versus the Kinze or John Deere planters. Kinze and John Deere are pretty much identical. Was almost thinking for next year, either we need to do some plowing or make a planter upgrade. I'm not sure what the best upgrade would be. In tougher no-till conditions, we want to make sure we have a planter that can actually handle it and do a good job. I'm pretty hopeful for this year though. We've had these nice rains after planting and helping to soften things up a bit. Felt like this year our planter's in better shape than it used to be, and our conditions were pretty good, and we were still struggling to get it in the ground as well as I would like to. Doesn't show up on the camera as well, but you can see the silos over there. It is Friday now, and I've been pretty much just working in my office the last day and a half. Had some rainy weather, and I had a lot of video editing to do. Still have a lot to do. Just posted a 45-minute long video. It takes a lot of time to sort through it all. It's really good we're getting this rain. It's a little chilly, but should be good for the crops. There's one stall out in the freestall barn that needs to be repaired. See if I can get that fixed this afternoon. The issue is in pen 3, one of the easy fix stalls. I haven't had any issues with these in the past. Metal insert broke off the bracket. They have a Phillips screw right there. It's starting to rust now, and I can't get it out, so I'm just gonna drill it. Just a self-tapping screw that went through the middle of the pipe. Alright, I gotta take this side of the bracket off so that I can go to the shop and weld it. supposed to be slightly angling up, so I just made sure to match it up exactly how it broke off. Yeah, they're exactly 1/3 done with the third silo. I'm going to scrape the dry cow barn quickly. There's not much here, but it's Friday afternoon, and by Monday it'll be a mess if we don't scrape it now. I don't want to have to work on the weekend at all. Try to minimize the weekend work if we can. I'm gonna wrap this video up here, guys. All right, see you guys.